Hi guys, Will from Typed here. And today I'm going to be walking you through some of the core features of the product and what you're going to be doing once you log in for the first time having subscribed. So we'll just start off, clicking login obviously. One thing to note, you need a Google account to be able to use Typed. I've got a couple of Typed accounts, but we'll be logging into the one I'm going to use for the purposes of this demo. And once you've logged in with your Google account, you're going to end up on a screen like this. The first time, everything's going to be blank. It's a blank canvas for you to start working on. We'll just quickly walk through all the things that we can see here. Okay, so my home, you've got your favorite projects. Obviously, we'll need to create some projects and add them in here, but once we've done so, these will be populated here. Your most recently viewed documents, the ones that have been created by you, and then also once you've started to add tasks, there'll be a separate little screen on the right here with all the tasks that have been assigned to you. Then you'll have review requests. Obviously, you either ones that you've received asking you to review a document or ones that you've sent to a team member asking for them to review a document. You'll have your inbox here. I've chucked in a few resources just so you get an idea, but your inbox is where you add resources and references so that to then use within your documents. Then settings and members. This is kind of the the standard admin stuff. You upload an image for your workspace, name the space, how many members are in here, what plan and billing are you on, the sort of admin of your typed workspace. Then underneath all that, you have the sort of heart and soul of Typed, which is your groups, your projects, and your documents. So you can see here, first project, obviously totally blank. So first thing you might want to do, just give a little icon just to distinguish it from your other projects. And then what we're going to be looking to do is to add our first document in here. When you come to add a document into Typed, there are a couple ways you can do it. You can either open from local if you've got a downloaded PowerPoint, a Microsoft Doc, a image, and this is where Typed's real power comes from. It totally integrates with your Google Drive. So anything that's in your Google Drive, you can actually just import it straight in. Or the third one, you can just create a new doc within Typed, Typed uses the same Google Docs that you know and love, just with significantly more functionality and power. So we've got docs, slides, and sheets here. So let's chuck in a Google Doc just for the sake of this demo. And we're in. And as you can see, it's exactly the same user interface you know and love, just with a few little extra bits. So one of the core aspects of Type that really adds some power is this resource library here. This is what allows us to escape the quagmire of having 40 tabs open while we're doing work, and instead just bring everything together into one workspace where we can just get on with the business of writing rather than toggling back and forth between this video, this image, these four tabs that I've got open with various URLs. So to add a resource to this library, there's a few different ways you can do it. You can add a document, again, from with any of those three options, either creating a new, opening from local or Google Drive. So, if you're referencing another document, you can add that into here. You can add a resource either from URL, from file, from Google Drive, or you can just write a little memo. And you can also create folders to sort of group those resources together. So I'm just going to take you over to a different workspace to see what that looks like, sort of when you've got everything populated. So yeah, we'll jump into this content marketing tab, and you can see here, this is a blog piece that we've been writing, Typed's vision for the future, okay? And within here, you can see we've got some resources, we've got the design assets where I've put all of the PNGs into one folder. We've got the original brief that the content marketing piece was created off of. And then I've also added a URL here of an example of another About Us page that we want to draw some inspiration from. So yeah, it's super easy to do, and quite often the one that if you're writing you'll be doing most often is just a URL. Any URL you copy will appear here. You can paste from clipboard even successfully linked here. One of the other cool features of Type is the split screen viewer. So once you've loaded up all the resources that you need for this document, this is how we escape the tabs. I click on anything and it appears in a split screen viewer, so I can quickly take the information I need and add it into my core document here. One of the other cool things, especially with URLs, is you have this read mode. And what you can do there is, as I've done here, is select a bit of text from a URL, just hit the highlighter icon, and then it will add a little highlight in the resource tab underneath that URL or whatever other resource it is, as long as it can be used in read mode. And you can see here then that highlighted piece is below the resource in the resource library, and when you click on it, it takes you to the specific bit. So obviously, 2,000 word blog article or whatever it is you're referencing, quite often there's only 3 or 4 paragraphs or maybe 2 statistics that you actually need. So you highlight them in your resource, really speeds up time. So rather than jumping to a tab, scrolling halfway down to find the thing that you were looking for, then copying and pasting it, that can literally take 3 minutes. You repeat that 20 times over the course of the day, you've wasted a lot of time. This 10 seconds, you've highlighted everything, you've done the prep work, and it's just there waiting for you to immediately chuck into the blog you're writing and then carry on, or the whatever it is that you're doing. Few other elements of the resource library to note. You see here on the left, these are kind of all the resources from all of the projects and documents. So I can move those in. I can add resources to my current resource library from there. So all the work I've done in the past is available. And also that inbox, any of the resources I've saved to that inbox are just available here. And I can just move it to my current library and boom. So the real aim of Typed is to limit the amount of work you have to do. So you're working smarter and not harder. So all of the past resources and references that you personally or your entire company has done in that workspace are available. So you can just very quickly find them and slot them in, really saving the time that it takes. And as you can see here, there's also a search. So, search all of those resources for whatever the name is of the document you're trying to find. One of the other cool ways that you can add a resource to the resource library is with Type's really fast web clipper. It just sits here at the top of your bar. Whenever you're on a resource, you click on it, and then you can add whatever the URL is into whatever document are in your workspace. So there we go, boom. I've just added this document as a resource to another document in my Type workspace. But if it was a URL for a content marketing blog or whatever that I'm doing in my research phase, I'd just do the same process, just add it straight into the resource library. One other way, there's also the Typed app. You can download that to your phone. So if you're on the go and you're doing a bit of research, when you don't have access to your laptop, you can just use the Typed apps to send that whatever you're looking at straight into your inbox and straight into the documents that are sitting within Typed. So some other cool features to note within each document. You've got this request review button. So, if you need another team member to give it a quick once over, you can very easily do that. You can also add tasks, very similar to Google Docs' existing task manager, but all of those tasks are added into your Typed workspace, and you can then push them to your Google Calendar to really add dates and deadlines. So we'll assign that to me. We'll give it a due date of next week, and then I can push that to my Google Calendar if I want. One of the other fundamental features of Typed that really sets it apart is your ability to share documents, but rather than just sharing, as we would with a Google Doc, just this Google Doc. When you share a document in Typed, you also share the entire resource library on the left. This really adds some power to your ability to collaborate. Rather than just sharing the finished project and the finished product, you share all of the resources that have gone into it and all of the context of that document. Now, you can share this with people in your workspace. You can also share the web publicly. So this one's set to share the web, or I can turn it off and just make sure that it's only people within my workspace that can access it. Now, we're just going to move on to kind of one of the last fundamental features of Type. You can see here, this is kind of like a filled out workspace with a lot going on. We've got my favorites up here. We've got my recently viewed. We've got created by me, a test review request I got a team member to send me to showcase for you guys, all my resources, settings and members. And then these are all the different projects that we're working on at the moment. Now, one of the coolest features of Type is the way that it actually stores everything in your projects and makes a note of all the relationship between all of your documents. So if you go to, so for this example, this is the video project we're looking at. So you can see here, all of the documents are in here, in a standard list format. But then I click the network mode, and you get this really awesome view of not just the documents themselves, but all of the resources that are in the resource libraries of each document. This is an unbelievably useful tool, just meaning you never lose anything. You've really got to put the lay the groundwork with excellent organization of your resources and your documents. But once you've done that, you never lose them again. You never have that problem where you can't remember the exact file name and you just literally can't find your marketing report from 5 years ago. And so you either have to recreate it or don't know, you just have to fly blind without it. With this, anything you save, even if you can't search for it with the exact title, you just go into the projects, view it visually, and you'll be able to find the document, and not only the document, every single resource that document links to. It's a really cool feature. It saves a huge amount of time. And we're building some very smart stuff off the back of this in terms of, there's going to be some recommendation features where it goes, hey, we think you need this document. We think you need this resource. Those will be rolling out soon. Awesome. So that's the very fundamentals of type. There's a lot more that you can do with the tool. This really is just scratching the surface. Really encourage you to jump in and have a play around yourself. It's a very intuitive tool, and nothing will teach you better than actually getting the grips with it yourself. And yeah, check out the help center on our website. There's a lot there. We've also got, you've got the help panel here if you have any follow-up questions. We run on intercom, so you tend to get a day response within a day. You can also schedule a type onboarding if you'd like, to really get to grips with the tool. But yeah, type's quite unique in terms of, it's very good from when you already start. But as you can see, once you really fleshed out all of the different aspects of the documents and the knowledge network and stuff, that's when it really comes into its own with all of these incredibly powerful features that showcase everything you're using, how it relates to each other, and really saves time with all your resources in one place, and just a single source of truth to work from. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful, and I hope you enjoy your journey with Typed.